Hello, neighbor. We're back on Novels and Bits podcast, and this is your host, Chizoba Katie. How have you been? What's up? So we're going to be continuing today's story, which is, you know it, that is from Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. So this is basically the third installment. I think there'll be 4 installments so that we don't rush the story all that much. And the 4th installment should be out last next week. So either ways, let's just try to finish the story. Now, if you're joining us for the first time and you don't know the story, look at what it's about. It's the last 2 episodes before this, but you can just start in the one just before this. Okay, you don't have to start with the original first one. So this story is basically about, it's centered in the world of figure skating. It's basically about this girl, Jasmine. She's 26 years old. She's not made any significant progress in her figure skating journey. And if you know figure skating, it's one of those careers where you have to make it young, or else you are not considered successful. Because I don't know if you've watched that series, Make It or Break It. I watched it when I was younger. It's a series about gymnast girls. I mean, these girls were only 16. These gymnasts in America, they were only 16. But then when these other gymnast girls from China came there to their own training facility, and those girls were 13, one of them had the guts to tell the 16-year-old one, "Oh, you're 16, you're old." So the younger you are in this kind of sports, the better you are considered ripe. You get all those sports that expire with age. Most sports do. But it's really, and it's one of those sports that you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of pain. But then people still do it because, oh, well, it's my passion, you know? So anyhow, Jasmine had not had anything done or achieved anything in this figure skating journey at 26. She didn't go to college. She's not married. She does not doing any other thing other than part-time jobs and training and hoping. She doesn't even have a partner. And it's not like she's a solo skater. She does pair skating, those skating of man and woman. So this is where we are currently. And what now happens is, out of the blue, one of the star achievers, Ivan Lukov, like everybody knows Ivan, is constantly winning competitions, world championships, everything there is to win. Out of the blue, he comes out to say that, his partner is taking the season off, so he needs a new partner. And then his coach approaches Jasmine. But here's the catch. These two have never gotten along. And they've known each other for like 10 years roughly. And they've never gotten along. They're more or less like actual enemies. And they're like so petty. Do you get? But then when they start training together and they're still mostly not talking to each other when training, their coach has to be there because figure skating, you don't need to talk, right? You just need to follow your coach's directives. But, Ivan is saying that, this may not actually work out. I mean, let's just at least get to be cordial while we are working together. So one time when her car breaks down, he offers to drive her home after practice because her body is paining her, everything. Right now, she cannot be thinking about car or that extra stress. She still have to work part-time job because she does not have money. Ivan has money. He can just do figure skating comfortably. All his awards are bringing him plenty money, plenty endorsements. She does not have any of those things yet. We don't even know if she'll have it. You get that kind of thing. He drives her home, but instead of just now going like, okay, I dropped you home. Bye-bye. Go on with your life. I'll go on with mine. No, he does not do that. He says, I am pressed. I want to use the toilet. And she looks at him like, no, you don't. Because he saw the extra cars outside and knows that her siblings are around. Because Jasmine lives with her mother and her mother's husband. And her mother's husband is way younger than her mother. But he's such a cool person. And her mom is really pretty, even though she's an older woman. Like, she has a very fine family. All of them are really good looking. But Mariana Zapata has a way of writing her female leads not to be that pretty. They see themselves in their head. The female characters are like, we try, sure. But they don't see themselves as, pretty is my superpower or anything. They probably pride themselves on the fact that they're hardworking, they're talented, stuff like that. So this is how, after spending the time, somehow, Ivan wiggles his way into her family house that day, and then he gets to meet her siblings. It's not like they didn't know him. They already knew him. Come on, he's famous and stuff. And already, Ivan's younger sister, Karina, is Jasmine's best friend. But Karina is away at medical school right now. So that's the thing. So anyhow, that spending time having dinner with her family on that Saturday and just spending time, and they talked about Jasmine's growing up, how she's always been sassy, and then both of them have to call Karina to actually break the news that, hey, both of us are partnering up and we are going to be partners for the season. And Karina laughed at them to scorn. Like, the two most stubborn people I know working together. This promises to be fun. So we have that. and it's dealt with. But then there's an upcoming important shoot coming up. They've already had the interview. It's called the anatomy shoot. So in the anatomy shoot, you basically know those magazines that they mostly publish news of celebrities. Like, it's not like news of that vulgar and returning. More like those kind of news that they snap to make it look artistic, maybe motion or something. All you're just saying is their strong back, their strong tie. You're not seeing anything explicit, but you sure know this person is nude. You get? So that's what the anatomy issue kind of thing is all about. And this one is called Sports Documented. So this is something that they already interviewed them for. So the photo shoot of that day is coming up, and Jasmine is crazy nervous because at first, when they asked her about it, like, why are you nervous on this day? And this photo shoot for it happens a week after the dinner. Thanks to Ivan taking that time to have dinner with her family, their working relationship has been better, but it's not like they're besties or anything. There are people that, for God's sake, they've not gotten along for 10 years. It's not going to be automatic that they start getting along right now. Okay, but they're doing their best. They're doing their best and they're trying. It's better than before when they were going out of each other's way and effortlessly aggravating each other. Now it's like, okay, we can be cool, but they're still being petty sort of, but they're better basically. And it's on those grounds that it makes it easy for Ivan to ask on that day, like, hey, why are you trying to back out of this? What's wrong? Talk to me. We agreed that we're going to do this. Why did you change your mind? That it's not a big deal. We just do this photo shoot. We move on with our lives. So she doesn't want to tell him the real reason and keeps saying, you always make fun of my body. You always used to make fun of my body before. And you see me today and you see me like, nude and yeah. So Jasmine basically wants to do her photo alone, like her photos. Oh, let me do my own shots alone. And then Ivan can do his own alone. And maybe using Photoshop, you can make it look like we were together for this. And they're like, no, that we need both of you to do it together, to actually do this photo shoot together at the same time, working together, being nude. So that's the thing. She did not even tell Ivan her concerns directly. She went through Coach Lee. So it was not Ivan that came over, and instead of normally like, hey, yeah, kind of being rude or being harsh or trying to get on her nerves like he would do if it were in the past, he is all gentle and he's asking what is the real problem, and she doesn't want to say, okay, and it takes a while. So she's just kind of going that route of, you're going to make fun of me. And he now just does something completely unexpected. He complimented her and then says, hey, like, just do this so that Paul will regret it. I mean, that your partner that dropped you, that thought he could go and pick someone else without even having the decency to tell you to your face, and you had to find out from the news media, do this and show him. The Sports Documented is a coveted issue. Like many athletes, if you're anybody in the athletic world, at least you should feature on it once, and this is what she's getting. So it's a big step. It's an accolade basically. So after the shoot, which turns out to be incredibly beautiful because Jasmine let go of her fear. On her own part, she basically taped her nipples because that was what she felt like most insecure about. On his own part, he taped the part of his crotch. So you can't actually see his assets, okay? But you can see his other muscles, well, fine and everything. So it turns out both of them chose where they wanted to look decent on. You get, so that was it. And the shoot went well. They did so many difficult moves, held on to each other, had a beautiful partnership. Honestly, I know up until this point of the book, when they were like, nude photo shoot, I think I was expecting something naughty or something, but it was mostly professional, and that actually makes me realize that maybe my own part of the world, nude is something that is regarded as, oh my God, so indecent, so immoral. But why people do not give 2 cents? Like, there are people who are just like, nude, okay, art, move on. Unless it's something you're doing with your body that is actually suggestive. But just the actual nudity on its own, it's not considered like an issue, like anything that has weight. Understood. So when Jasmine returned home that day, she found her mother with a banged up face. Her mother didn't even want to look at her at first. Her mother just said, oh honey, you're back. Okay, food is here. Go sit. So she, so tired, did not really pay attention. So she just sat to eat. And then she noticed the side of her mom's face, that it was swollen. There was, an injury. She was like, what the heck? Mom, what happened to your face? You understand? Her mother was even trying to hide it from her, like turning back away and not trying to look Jasmine full in the face. And Jasmine didn't notice at first because she just focused on, oh, I'm so tired, let me eat and go rest. But then seeing the fact that, oh my gosh, what happened to your mom's face? What happened to my mom's face? And she now found out that, oh, her mom got into an accident earlier. She was taken to the hospital. And through all of that horror, she hadn't called Jasmine. Why? She didn't want to interrupt Jasmine's big day. Jasmine felt like a self-centered prick. Like, how am I such an awful human being that my own mother, whom I love more than anything else in the world, does not feel she can call me in her time of need? What kind of person does that friggin' make me? So she's roiling with all of this emotions like, I don't know how to feel right now. Mom, I don't even know how to defend myself. I don't know how to communicate this properly because I feel like I'm falling apart. That my mom could not call me at a point of need where she could have died because she felt, oh, I don't want to interrupt Jasmine's big day. She's waited so long for this. Mom, is that even important? You're more important to me than any of these things. You are. Because her mom raised her alone. After her parents' divorce, her mom raised her alone. And she's such a positive woman who had married twice before Ben, her mom's current husband. And even at a point, her mom had a lump in the breasts in the past that they were afraid that, oh my God, this is going to be a big issue. But it had turned out to be nothing. So her mom had sacrificed a lot and so much, everything for Jasmine. The reason her mother is not a super wealthy woman is because of Jasmine. The woman has poured thousands of dollars over the year into figure skating because that's Jasmine's dream. That's what Jasmine wants. So Jasmine, in light of all of this, she loses her appetite. Like, I cannot even eat this thing again because how can I eat when my mother is saying this type of thing? How can I eat? It doesn't even make sense. So Jasmine had this heavy feeling in her chest, like she cannot breathe, like there's a stone sitting on her chest or an elephant and she cannot let it go. But she's not someone who cries, so she can't even say, oh, let me cry out, whatever this thing is. No. So the thing she does is she took her car keys, she drove out to Elsie. This is really late in the evening. She doesn't even put up her skates properly, like her protector and everything, just her skates. And she goes on ice and starts skating so roughly. Like this kind of thing, you're trying to punish your body. This is someone who just came in from skating so hard, nude on ice, the cold that had affected her. And she's returned to that skating place where she should be resting at home. And she has an upcoming competitions, but she's basically punishing her body, punishing herself, because she does not know any other way to take out her frustration that her mother could have died, that she could have lost her mother, and her mother did not think that, oh, Jasmine is concerned enough for me to inform her about this, that I have to protect Jasmine even if I am on my deathbed. So at the point, she skated so hard that she basically fell, landing on her back, injuring herself. So she just lay flat there. Then out of nowhere, or so it seemed, Ivan just towered over her. The first thing he offered her was the chocolates because she likes to take chocolates. Then he now asked her to get up. She said no. He warned her, if you don't get up, I'm going to do something you're not going to like. He now started counting down. She did not do anything. So next thing, he just lifted her from there, the ground, hold her over his shoulder. And she was like, put me down. No, I don't want to go. Put me down. Because she is behind now, like, she's facing his ass side. She now reached her hand into one of his ass and pinched it. But he did not react. Like, why not react although I pinched your ass? So he now took her through a door with a numerical key code that his room. He actually has a secret room in the facility. Then as he's trying to place her down on the sofa, he pinched her ass back, but on the right ass cheek where it hurt her. She was like, ouch! Now why is my own hurting and your own is not hurting? He said you did not calculate it well. Have you forgotten that because of the fall, we used to fall very well as figure skaters? One of our asses don't used to work again. Like the muscles there are numb. It's the other one that you did not know that it's the other one you pinched. You pinched the wrong one. Me, I pinched your own, the right one. So that's why it's paining you. This Ivan's secret room in the facility was a conference room that was converted for his privacy, because obviously when he got famous, sometimes he'll train so hard in the night he cannot return to his house, or sometimes there are fans out and he just needs to rest. So it's his family that owns this training facility. His family, they have mad money, so they just converted the conference room for him so that he can just stay overnight if need be. So the first thing he did was he made her hot chocolates, and then when he gave it to her, he now said, like, just sat there really. She now broke down And she was now saying how she's a failure at being an athlete. It's not like I've won anything there. And even with my own family, I've failed at being there for them. That at least, Ivan, you've won often. He said yes, but I did not win without a price. I don't have a life outside of figure skating. I don't have like a romance life. I don't have anything. All I have is figure skating. Honestly, this part of the book hit me hard. Because here's the thing. Oftentimes we think that, especially in this world now where everything is about work-life balance, and a percentage up and down. Let's be fair. You really cannot have work-life balance without a certain amount of money. And a certain amount of pedigree. Actually, you cannot. If you are starting out, you cannot have a work-life balance. It's not you may not, you cannot. One thing has to go. That's what people don't understand. That's why many successful people, check them. Oftentimes, their private life or one aspect of their life is just zero on the ground. Then the other thing that is doing well is really doing well. Because here's the thing, you cannot give everything equal attention. So he too, he's confirming that thing here. He's uber successful. He is a guy everybody looks up to. He is a world-decorated figure skater. But on top of all of that, it's not like he has the best life. I mean, he's lonely most of the time, but he just learned to kind of roll with it. Like, oh yeah, it comes with the territory. In fact, it was so bad, Ivan's own, his interactions with people and just being so focused on figure skating. It was so bad that he had to watch reality shows to learn how to interact with fans. His only friend for a long time usually would be his current partner. So Jasmine learned life could be different after skipping a season. One season like that she didn't do, that she just focused on family. She was like, I say it's not so bad though. My life will not end if I don't do figure skating. That's what gave her a different perspective one time. And it also hurt her really that her mom had poured thousands of dollars into her, nearly going bankrupt. And her dad had told her that she shouldn't have to do anything about her talents. That you have talent does not mean you have to do anything about it. You can just ignore it, go to college, have a stable life. And this is not bad advice, but when you're a strong head, like Jasmine and like me, for instance, because if you know what I'm giving up to do this thing, and you too, if I know what you're giving up to do this thing, I'm cheering you on, truly. You'll know that chasing your dreams looks crazy. Chasing your dreams looks like you're mad. Like you don't want a future for yourself. Keep at it. Your day of recognition has arrived. It is close by. So in the heat of all of this, Jasmine rehearsing, I'm 22, no college degree, no medals, nothing. And my family that loves me at my worst think they're second place. I'm such a terrible human being. She starts crying. That's when all the emotions finally catch up to her and she cries. And this is someone who, according to her, she doesn't cry. So despite her protest, like, no, Ivan, I don't need this. He back-hugged her. And then he now delivered pep talk of the century for the second time that day. The first pep talk he delivered that day was before the shoot, the sports documented shoot. This is the second pep talk. I now told her that, Jasmine, you're the most incredible figure skater I know. You're resilient, you keep going, and you inspire young girls to keep showing up. You're not like those people that when they won a few when they were younger, they were like, let us retire now that it is so good though. Because if we continue, challenges that we do not expect can come up. And then we'll start looking like we used to fail at something. We should not let that thing happen. You get? But Jasmine is not like that. I mean, she's someone that, okay, the last time I won anything was like in my late teenage years. And right now I'm heading over to my late 20s. But I'm still believing and grinding at this thing that something can come out of it. He now told her, we'll win if that's what you need. Like, if you need to win to prove to yourself that all this figure skating thing is worth it, let's do it. Let's win. That's what Ivan told her. That's just so sweet. Like, let's win this thing, y'all. So the reason Ivan had even known that she was on the ice, trashing her body like that, is that Galina, Jasmine's former coach, Galina, when she saw Jasmine trashing herself, had called Coach Lee and now called Ivan that came to check on her. So it was a chain reaction to show the fact that, see how many people cares about you that they have to go through that process. If they don't care, they'll just look at you like, anything she wants, let her do now. But that's to show you that she's more cared for and loved than she realizes. So the next day at practice, Jasmine's body was punishing her. She was just feeling herself slow, feeling like, why am my movements dragging? Why am I not sharp? Why is my body not moving the way I want it? She's breaking out in sweat more than usual. And Ivan is staring at her like, what's going on with you? But she just keeps looking away. She's just pretending, ignoring the fact that he's staring at her because she doesn't want to be embarrassed. So when they're done for the day, Ivan was like, hey, can I come to your house for dinner? And she wanted to shrug like, yeah, well, whatever. But she found herself nodding. And that's an improvement. Like, okay, I'm not going to be nonchalant to this guy anymore. I'm doing my best now to show him that, oh yeah, he's a cool person and we are getting along. So she goes to the locker room first to change now before they can leave. She now overheard some 14-year-olds speculating about why Ivan's crotch doesn't show in costumes. Of all things, 14-year-olds should be disgusted, but 14-year-old Sha trusts Jasmine. She did not take it easy with them. She told them off like, why would you be discussing such a thing? Does it concern you? You get, so they scurried away. Then, when she came out of the locker room, she now saw two mean teenage girls, calling two other teenage girls who are nice to Jasmine fat and ugly. There are 4 teenage girls. 2 of them are people that used to see Jasmine, they'll greet her, they like her. You get, despite the fact that she does not have decorations or accolades. Why the other 2 used to be like, why people used to greet that girl? So do you think she has won anything? That judges say, my mother say, you people should not. You understand? That's what those other 2 girls used to do. When those other 2 girls that like Jasmine used to hype her. You get? So now Jasmine comes onto a scene where the 2 girls that like her, that used to speak up for her, are being bullied by the other 2 main girls. So the thing does not say twice with her at all. Like, why would you be calling the other girls fat and ugly? Are you so much better off? You get? I mean, she said a lot of mean, harsh, factual things here. Jasmine being Jasmine. Luckily for her, she didn't swear. Because she's not even in a position where she can swear now. I mean, she's training for big championships. It's not like before. Before they'll come and carry another media news like this now and spoil her reputation again. So the most she got out is, if you try it again, I'm going to release my kind of whoopers all over you. So Ivan was down the hall, just waiting for her, staring at her. Saved her from swearing, like going further. She gave the girls a piece of her mind, the mean girls, and looked at the other girls like, hey, tell me if they mess with you, okay? And then she now walked away. And let us remember that Jasmine is not very tall. But in that her not tall state, in that her 5'4", she is scary. Okay? She is. You do not want to cross her. You will not like yourself. For dinner, Ivan was with her family. She went to get a shower. So when she came back downstairs, she overheard her family explaining Jasmine's nickname, Grumpy. Yeah, we call her Grumpy. Why do we call her Grumpy? Oh, she hated Snow White. When she watched Snow White when she was small, she was like, that why would you go and enter hot size on your own and lie there? That and all the other 6 dwarfs, they just accepted you like that. That Grumpy is the only one that have sense now. You understand? So because of that reason, because the fact that the only character in Snow White she could identify with that said, hey, this one has sense, was Grumpy. That's the thing. But even as they're speaking of her like that, they're speaking of her so affectionately, and it felt so good, even though she was overhearing them. So she now joined them, and then her sister Ruby now asks, hey Jazz, can you still babysit? And this is a formal commitment that she had already given before the whole Ivan partnership thing came up. But even with that, because Jasmine is trying to be a better person, more available for her family, she said, yeah, sure, I can. I already said I would babysit. Yes, I will do it. Do not cross me off that list. It's a week later, on the day she's supposed to go and babysit. This is another Saturday. It's mostly on Saturdays. The days in mostly go to her house for dinners. So it's a week later now, and she is supposed to go to her sister Ruby's house to babysit so that Ruby and her husband can go wherever they plan to go to. But then her car broke down again after practice. Ivan now had to come to her rescue and said, which part of town are you going to? She knows they're not going the same direction. But I said, don't worry. So long as you're going to come back before 6, let's go. And the thing now started making her wonder, what is he going to do by 6? Is he meeting with a date? Start speculating because she really does not know his life or whatever he's up to after training. He drove her to Ruby's house and now said that he's going to babysit with her, basically, so that he can be able to drive her home after. And the time to babysit is 4 hours. While they are hugging the sister and saying, oh, we've come to your house, Ruby has this nickname that only her family members call her Squirt, because she just gives this aura of let's protect this fairy, and she's redhead. They're also pretty, the way they describe Jasmine's sisters. So Ivan, trying in his definitely diligent, valiant efforts to be closer to her family, was like, hey, might I call you Squirt? It was only awkward for half a second because it's my family calls me that. But okay, sure, you can. So Ivan meets Jesse and Benny. Benny is a 3-year-old male. Jesse is still a baby. And this is Ivan's first time of holding a baby. And it's so natural. Because he was like, y'all, I've never held a baby before. And he's like, yeah, you know what? I think I might have a baby. But with the right person. Because I don't want to dilute my blood. And then he's now smirking and looking at her like, I don't want to dilute my blood as part with you. No. That thing, they're back to teasing each other. Jasmine just rolled her eyes like, God forbid you have kids with someone that's not perfect. dumbass. He now said, right, they might come out short, with mean, squinty little eyes, a big mouth, heavy bones, and a bad attitude. Basically describing Jasmine. So she now told him, I hope you get abducted by aliens. And he now told her, you're actually the heaviest partner I've ever had. And she now told him, see, I'm not heavy because I have weight. I'm heavy because my bone is heavy. This is all muscles, man. It's all muscles. I don't have any weight here to lose. Because apparently maybe the other partners he's had, they're light-weighted bones. That's what he's more used to dealing with. But even though he does not usually complain whenever he carries her. He's patient. He doesn't complain. And he feels like those are characteristics that figure skating built into him. Honestly, most of those people who are like pro sports people, they're actually very disciplined, because most of the time the sport demands that of you. It demands that you have to be better than the average person. And figure skating is one of those things. You can't settle for being less. You can't settle for being ordinary, because if you do, you're not even going to win the game, actually. You have to be like number one at what you do. You have to give your best to training, your best to your mental focus. You have to not care about what others are saying about you. You have to, you and your partner are getting something wrong. You can't just complain and whine and walk off that field. You have to make it work. So figure skate, pro sports in general, they actually build those athletes in character. They actually do. But then by the next practice time, Jasmine came to practice sick. And the signs had been showing small, but she was just ignoring it. So Ivan and Coach Lee came to rescue, but she was being difficult. Like, no, I'm fine. I can do training today. She was burning up. So they had to give her painkillers. And, she had to rest in Ivan's thighs, because Ivan had to carry her back to his private room again. And he now had to call and fix a doctor's appointment. Although she had said no doctor, because she does not have insurance. She does not have money to pay for a doctor. So he's paying. And her mom at this moment is out of town. But first, he gave her a cold shower. So he just basically carried her into the shower fully clothed and told her, so what is it you want to do? Because she was initially doing, I don't want you to undress me, this is that. He just let her like, see, this is mechanical. It's not like I'm trying to look at you or anything. He just had to come back despite her strong head, undressed her, pushed her into the bathroom and said, take that cold shower. Let's bring down the temperature first. No big deal. So he took her to hospital, and after hospital, now took her to the pharmacy to get medicine, now took her home. He had to stay in her house, was just monitoring her dosages, waking her up every now and then to make sure she took them, sitting beside her on the bed. And at a point when she woke up, she had her hands on his hard abs because he was lying beside her. And Jasmine was now wondering, why is he doing all of this for me? Is this what he would normally do for other partners? The moment you start wondering if the guy would do this for other people, that's when you know you entered. That's when you know you are basically roped into this thing. So when she asked that, he stiffened. She fell back right asleep because, remember, she's sick, she's so tired. And at a point, she heard him through her sleep calling her, baby, come on, wake up, you have to take this medicine. At the point, she even felt him kiss her forehead. But when you are sick and you're not fully conscious, you might actually think you dreamt most of these things. Like us now in Africa, whenever we have malaria, we don't know what's real and what's not. It's after a sickness, you'll be like, hey, when I was sick, did you do this or did you do that? Because I don't know. I am not sure what is reality and what I was dreaming. So that's how all of the whole him calling her baby, kissing on her forehead was feeling like, bro, since when was I any of those things to you? Yo. So in the morning, Ivan was around. He came to check on her. I think he went back in the night. Then he came back in the morning and then to check on her. And she now went to take her bath. So when she returned from the bathroom, she saw her nightstand open. Apparently, Ivan was just kind of being curious, going about her things, not like trying to pick, just normal curiosity, just opened this thing and he just happened to see something you're not supposed to see. So that's how he found out about her stalkers, like letters from the stalkers, like, hey, saying things about her body, what they want to do to her in a way that is just creepy and just not okay, that it's sick. So he had to now check her phone, like grab her phone, and he knows her password. So he checked most of the messages she got on Pictogram, like Instagram of her own. And he now found out that most of the messages that she receives is normally dick pics. And then he now told her, okay, I see what's going on. She never told him about the pervert issue. He now blackmailed her and said, see, you cannot stay in this house alone. Your mother is not around. Her husband is not around. You cannot stay in this house alone. No, you're sick, and with all of this pervert thing coming out, I refuse to allow you to stay alone. So here's how it's going to be. You have to stay at my place or at your brother's place until your mom returns with Ben from Hawaii. And that's still 2 weeks away. So whoever she's staying with, whether she's going to be staying with Ivan or staying with her brother, she has to stay there for 2 weeks. Just does not want her to be alone. And this at the point, she's just thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to drag my brothers into my mess. And most of all, if I stay with them, I'll be hearing them in the nights doing with their partners, like their thing walls. No, I cannot be hearing them doing that thing, please, no. But if I stay with Ivan, what's going to happen now that this one self does he even like me as we're like this? Maybe staying with him is better because we're partners. So it's not even like he's going to do any funny. He's not going to sabotage. So these are the thought processes that went through her head before she's not like, okay, just looking at him. And he now told her, choose baby, me or your brothers. Called her baby again. What's with you calling me baby? I mean, a guy like Ivan calls me baby. I'm like, yeah, baby. Can I have your babies already? Because we already got there so fast. So she now said, yeah, I choose you. Then he came with a white minivan that day, not his Tesla. She was not like, this one you're carrying white minivan like a family man. What's going on here? Only for her to now enter the car after parking things she will need to stay in his house. And there were 2 dogs in the car, Russell and Lacey. Jasmine is shocked. Like, you are a dog parent. I did not even know that you had pets, or that I like children to you. She feels at this point that she's never known Ivan. He's someone who collects trays a lot. And she does not know that about him. Like, anyone who's compassionate enough to collect trays and raise them. And these are not all his pets. You're about to meet more of them. First of all, Lacey, the dog, she's in a pink harness. She's lashed in a seatbelt of sorts at the back. Like, it is a seatbelt meant for dogs. You know how they have seatbelt for children? This one is for dogs. She's a small, short-haired white dog, a French bulldog. She's in timeout because she was giving him a lot of sass, picking on her sisters and trying to steal food, peeing on one of the beds because she got in trouble. So she has done a lot. She has committed very well. That's why they're giving her dog timeout by putting her in seatbelt. Lacey is still giving an attitude because she's looking at Jasmine like, I don't like you. So according to Ivan, Lacey is a dog that reminds him most of Jasmine. Like, you and Lacey are similar. I've seen this dog like this, so what of you to give me trouble? So it's while they are talking and driving to his house, through that conversation, that Jasmine is like, yeah, I'm the baby of the house, I'm the last born. He's like, you last born with all your toughness? I thought it was Ruby, that's the style we went to babysit her children. Because Ruby has this aura about her, like, oh, let's protect her. So Jasmine reviewed, yeah, she had a heart condition at some point. So all of us kind of, rallied around her. So that's why most people tend to think that Ruby is the last child, but it's actually Jasmine. Ivan was like, yeah, that your sister is cute though. Then Jasmine was like, why would you call my sister cute? Just triggered her protective side. That, see, my sister is too good for you. Don't even try it. Besides, she has a man. Like, she doesn't even know why she said talking like that. And then Ivan said, I'm a cacho. Jasmine was like, yeah, right. He'll catch and release. He now started stating his qualities. Wait, hold on. I am rich. I am not ugly. I have 2 gold medals. I mean, Jasmine just pretended to be like, oh, it's not like all those things make sense, Sha. He was like, you've got a point. But how many do you have? Okay, let's say you have a point that all my achievements are nothing. Okay. But you, how many gold medals do you have? Ooh, that's what one of them said at the same time. Like, your mama joke moment. Like, you did not. That is petty. Like, yo. These 2 can go from fighting one moment to vibing the next. I loved their banters. I'm so sorry I'm not conveying the conversation line too well. But honestly, stick with me on this podcast thing. I feel like the more I release podcast episodes, I'm going to get better at doing storytelling more properly. So thank you who have been with me from day one. You who are just finding me, and even though you're not quite following everything, you're just like, let me be patient with this girl and see how she's landing. I'm so thankful. Now, all this while that they're driving and making jokes, Jasmine is in extreme pain. Her head is paining her. Her spine is paining her. The tips of her toes are paining her. Places she did not know used to pain her, her body is paining her. But after they have that laughter moment, he kept sneaking glances at her. He'll drive, he just sneak. She's like, why are you looking at me like that? What? He was like, I've only seen you laugh a few times. When you laugh, that you sound like a psycho, like a possessed doll. Is that compliment or what? What is it? What is it with you? I laughed and now you're calling me psycho doll. So one of them, she did not even take offense. One of them just started laughing again at what he said. Until he now reminded her that, see, I'm still pissed at you that you did not tell me about the perverts. Now remember that he's supposed to be angry at her for not telling him. So they get to Ivan's house. It's unexpected, ranch style. So we're going to find out more in the next episode, and we're rounding off in the next episode. Jasmine is about to find out a lot of things about Ivan that she didn't know. Right now we've known more about Jasmine than we've known about Ivan. But now that she's come to his house and she's going to be there for a while, we're going to get to know him more through her eyes, the things she sees, the unexpected things about him, how he's the parent of 5 animals, how he does not have a chef. I mean, how do you not have a chef? How do you live in a ranch-style house? Are you not supposed to be living in an ultra-modern house with 10 people working for you? You have that money to make it possible. Why choosing such simplicity? So those are all the things we're about to find out. And gosh, I love me Ivan, okay? So thank you for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.